Hey friends, if you're new to my channel, I'm Tish and this is Tish Loves Home. So today I'm at home all day. Yay, I love days like this. I'm going to be packing up stuff for a baby shower that I'll be setting up tomorrow. I actually kind of started gathering things around the house last night and I'm going to wrap up some of those things today. This is a baby shower for a friend of mine that had contacted me about setting it up for them. It is for a boy, so they're really trying to keep costs down, and she said, you know, if you already have stuff that you can use, that would be great. Well, if you've been watching my channel for a while, you know that I have done 2 showers recently that involved using my teddy bears, and one of them was for a boy. So I was like, okay, great, I've got all that stuff still, so I will use that again. So if you've seen some of the others, then you know I've kind of already done this setup 2 times. But the interesting thing about it is all 3 of these are going to be done in different places. One was done at a friend's home. The second was done at a friend's home, so 2 different homes, and this one's actually going to be set up at a church fellowship hall. So it's probably going to look a little bit different. I have not ever even been to this church or seen this space that I'm decorating for. So, you know, I'm just kind of having to go off of what I'm imagining in my mind. So it's going to look a little bit different. I hope I've got everything that I need. I can't come back home tomorrow to get stuff because it's too far for me to do that. So we shall see. So we're going to go ahead and start packing it up today, and then I'll take you along with me tomorrow while I'm doing some setup, and we'll see how it turns out. Oh, what a mess. This whole house is a mess because I've got stuff pulled out everywhere. These are some of the serving pieces and a few decor things that I'm going to be taking with me. Everything's kind of crazy around here this morning. I pulled out all of this stuff last night. These are some of the serving pieces that I'm going to be taking with me. She's given me a list of the things that they're going to have. So I feel like I'm going to have more than enough stuff. And I'm going to leave her with a few extra things because I will not be there for the actual tea. So that way she can at least have something, you know, to pull from. So I'm going to get all of these things packed up first.
I feel it in my veins, masking all this pain. Been searching high and low, with nowhere else to go. I used to feel alive, so many years went by. I wish I had more time, just wanna feel alright. Stars across the sky, guide me home. No more crying, it's time to go. Been searching for you, high and low. I need to know, where did you go? We can fly away, we can fly away. We can fly away, we can fly away. To a higher place, take me to a higher place. To a higher place, take me to a higher place.
All right, so I have gotten all of those things kind of wrapped up. You saw me probably kind of lifting to make sure I didn't get anything too heavy. So I think what I'm going to do now is start loading my car because I do have some other things to do around here. And it's a lot of stuff. It really is. That's the only thing about doing it somewhere else is because I have to haul everything. And the thing is, when I get home with it, I'm the only one that knows where everything goes because I've got stuff here, there, and everywhere. I wish I had a big closet or a space where I could just kind of keep all of this stuff and then I could just see it and go to one place. I don't have that yet, but I am going to show you a spot. I kind of want your opinion to see if you think I could make that work. But we're going to go ahead and load everything up. I'll share with you as I'm loading, and then I'm going to show you that spot and see what you think. This is the area back here that I kind of want to convert into a closet. And actually, it was a closet on the original plan for the house, and we didn't make it a closet. So I know that it could be done. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of got this angle right here. So, you know, I'm sure it would have to have, you know, like a wall built to this point and then have the door in order for it to kind of, you know, be divided off as a closet. Trent would probably, he's probably going to say it's going to make it look too tight back here. I don't know. I'm just walking around thinking. I mean, because you'd have to take this piece, you know, and like build right here and then have your door for the closet. I don't know. I'm just thinking about it because, y'all, if I did that, and if I did it that way where I could have, you know, the door, I don't know, have to think about the best way to open the door. I wish I could have a pocket door right there, but I know that that's impossible. It would definitely, door would have to definitely open out. It'd have to. But if I did that, I was thinking, you know, I could have shelves all the way up this wall. You know, I would already have, I don't know if that light would make it into the closet, but I do have this. So I could keep a light there. And if I had shelves on this wall, and then I could even do shelves here and here, that would give me so much room for, you know, like my platters, my bases, all those kind of things that I use all the time. So I don't know. If you have suggestions, it really wouldn't be a big deal at all if it's just this part. Like we would have to do, you know, I know we couldn't do it ourselves. We'd have to get somebody to do it. But anyway, that's the spot I'm thinking about. So here are, oh, you decided to come in, Hampton? Well, did you have fun rolling around? Did you have fun rolling around in the pine straw? Gonna have to get your medicine. I know, you're gonna be itchy. You are. So these are 2 bags that I'd already kind of started putting some stuff in. I've got some faux flowers here, a couple more stands. Chances are I'm not going to use all this, but I just like to have options because, you know, I don't really know what the space is going to be like, and I want to make sure I have enough stuff. I'm also going to be taking this easel and the chalkboard. Got to make sure I take some chalk to write on it with. I'm going to put that in probably at the end so I can just kind of, you know, slip it over everything else. You see my mess? This is all from the front porch where I'm painting. You'll probably see this after that project's finished, but still on go right now. Also going to take this little white chair for the mother to sit in while she's opening her presents. I just thought that would be a sweet little touch. It's not heavy. It'll be easy for me to haul, so I'm going to take that. And here's all the other stuff. I'm going to be blowing up balloons today, so I'm going to leave that here. I've just started gathering things together. It really is not as much as I thought. I mean, I think I've got like those 2 things and this, because all that stuff is for another tea. I've got my balloons I'm going to use in that. So, and over here, I've just got tablecloths, and I've got the other tablecloths outside. So there's all the stuff. So I got to start loading this car up. Well, that's not the hardest part. The hardest part is unloading it, but it wasn't that bad this time. Y'all got to see my messy section in the garage over there because all that stuff is tea related too, or stuff I've taken out of my car. So, you know, it's just all the things always going on. So the only thing I have left to do as far as tea prep for this one, I've got something different this time to do like the balloons on. I'm gonna tell y'all something about that trash can in a minute too. See, my brain. Anyway, they're like just poles, and they're weighted down by water bags. Never have used it. It may not, I hope they work. I just need one of them to work because I didn't want to try to do a full-on balloon arch. The time involved with that. This is a small little shower. I wanted some, but I didn't want to overdo it. So I've got to blow up some balloons for that. And then I probably am going to put some balloons on those little balloon like vases that you saw, be putting in the car. So I'm gonna put some balloons on those too. So I'm gonna blow up the balloons probably a little bit later today. And I'm gonna go ahead and start painting. But the trash can, that's not where it normally lives. But I found this thing, I'm gonna show you on Amazon. I'll put it up, and y'all, some of you may have them, but it's kind of like a screen, and it hides your trash can, wheelbarrow, gas tank, whatever. And we have a wheelbarrow over there too, and I just don't like seeing it when I drive up. That's just me. So I think I'm gonna get the one that I'm gonna put up. They come in a lot of different styles. If you have one, send me a picture, put it in the comments, or send me the link. This one's not very expensive, so I think it'll work for what we want. But the other thing I forgot to tell you, and I'll show this when I pull it out, I did buy off of Amazon a pack of clear, like, serving pieces, big spoons, tongs, whatever, and they're plastic. They were very inexpensive. I'll put that up there too. I think those will be great for traveling, and if, you know, I don't get a few back, it's not going to be the end of the world. But anyway, I put a bag of those in there so they'll have something to use for that. And I also bought a gold set, put those up, that I'm going to keep here and use for events here, just so that they all match. And I feel like with the clear and the gold, I'm in pretty good shape. So this is what kind of sits in our corner. And the screen, I could just kind of put it, you know, from here to there, and it would kind of hide all of that. So I think I'm going to do it. I think it would be good. These are for my umbrellas, and I have those upstairs. I'm thinking I'm going to use those for at least one of my teas. Probably not the one this weekend, but I am going to try to use those for one. And then that's all I'm going to show you out here right now, because we got a little mess going on over here. Things are not quite spring ready in my yard yet. I've got to get some... Anyway, I got stuff to do. I'm sure you can relate. So that's it for out here. Got my praise music going on today, y'all. I need it. So here's this little kit, and all you're supposed to have to do is just screw these pieces together. It's got balloon clips on it. Anyway, this is going to be a when I sit down later kind of project, but that's the stands. They really didn't have that great of review. I know that. I'm going to just go ahead and say it out loud. They didn't, but it was what I needed, so I thought I could make it work. So we'll see. I mean, how complicated can it be? You know, and then these just go in it. That's the part that anchors it. And then that's like what you put around it, I guess, to put the balloons in. I don't know, but I'm going to look at it a little bit closer and at least have those assembled. Yeah, this shows you how you do it. Those rings go in there and you just put the balloon. See? I mean, y'all, that can't be too bad. We'll see. Hopefully it won't be. But that's a later project. Okay, I am going to start blowing up balloons for my little balloon stand arch tomorrow. I bought this off of Amazon recently. Worth every penny for blowing up these balloons. So I'm just gonna blow them up, throw them on the floor, and then divide them up by color and take them in just like garbage bags up there tomorrow when I set up. I think that's the easiest way to do it. Hampton is very sleepy and he doesn't like this, so I hate to bother him. He's giving me a pitiful look, but I don't know if he's going to sleep. It does make quite a bit of noise. So anyway, we'll go ahead and start doing this. And I'm gonna watch a little court TV while I'm working. I just got those loaded in the car, and I'm just learned a little lesson. I'm just gonna blow up some small ones for the other couple of colors and put them in bags. The big ones are hard to contain and to transport. So I think if I just go ahead and have some small ones blown up, then once I get there, I can do the big ones and kind of fill in. But yeah, they're not really easy to transport, but I'm so glad that I kind of figured this out today, because Saturday I've got to get some ready for a tea on Sunday, and that's going to be a pretty big space that I'm going to be decorating with, and a much bigger arch. So good to know, lesson learned. So learn from me. If you're taking one somewhere, just do your smaller balloons, wait till you get there to add the bigger ones. I hope these are going to be small enough for me to kind of get in those bags. I got a little system going there. I don't know if you noticed, but towards this batch, I kind of got a little groove going. So again, that gives me a little confidence going into the next two that I have to make, because I think I could do it now a little bit faster. So I'm going to put these in bags. I'm going to take my pump with me. I'm taking my whole thing of balloons with all the different kinds that I have in it over there, just in case. And of course the extra colors that I used and the tape. I just rather have it than not. So let me get this loaded up. Hey friends, so I am heading out to go set up for the tea. This car is slammed. I mean, it is so filled with so many things. It's hard because you just aren't ever really sure exactly what you're gonna need, you know. But anyway, I'm going to get an Alani for my energy boost this morning, and then I'm gonna head that way. I don't know how much filming I'm gonna get to do while it's going on. I may have some other people up there with me, and I never like to do that to other people because I know that that's not comfortable. So it may just be that I do a little filming when I'm finished, but we'll see. So I'm gonna run and get my drink, and let's get going this morning. Okay guys, here is the space that I'm working with. I just had the sweet little couple help me get all the tables in place. So we're gonna have these 5 round ones. I have cloths for those. The food will be here, and I just went ahead. This table was already there, and I asked them to put this one because I want to have plenty of room for the food, but also for all the pretties. And then what we decided to do is this area is going to be where I do the balloon arch and the little blocks, and I brought a little chair for her so she'll unwrap her presents here. And then this table is where they'll drop them off. And then back there, we'll probably just display them so people can go back and look at them when it's over. And then I'm gonna create a little sign-in section here, maybe with her book, and then I've got my easel and stuff back there. So it's a pretty blank canvas right now. So I am gonna try to film some, not the whole time, but some of the time, and then I'll share some things at the end. Those tables are done. I'm gonna play around up here with these main tables, excuse me. And then I'm not gonna video all of that because it'll take too long and I gotta think a little. But I'll just stop at different points and share with you what's going on. This is so peaceful. I mean, just being in this little church, working quietly alone, my mind can rest and think. It's just peaceful. I'm gonna enjoy this day. I really am. So I have put the tablecloths on this section, and I did a lot of mixing because I didn't really have all the ones that are gonna match exactly, which is fine because I kind of like a little mixing matching anyway. So I'm gonna bring this one down a little bit. I don't like to see legs. You can see them on this side, but that's not the eye view, and this is where they'll be working. And of course, I'm just starting, so y'all know I'm gonna be playing. This I've got kind of going on both sides, and I added this tablecloth over because I already had it over this one, but just to kind of tie in a little bit with the mixed patterns. And right now I'm gonna do some things on the back of this wall before I push this in. I've got my pretty wreath over here that I'm gonna be using with my little We Can Barely Wait and some ribbon. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that next, and then I'll share that. So basically, I am just laying out different serving pieces that I think that they might be able to use. And I'm gonna leave all my stuff so that if they need something different, they have some options. So I think I have enough out there for now, we'll see. I'm gonna go ahead and start doing a little decorating over here, and then we'll start on the rest of the tables. Update. So I ended up cutting that blue cheesecloth just so that I would have some blue on each table. And I've got my bears. I only had 4 left after the main table, so I am going to do something. I just put these little booties here in the center to do something a little different with that one. You know, you have to problem solve. And then I'm going to go ahead now and put a few balloons around. And then I'll start over here working on the balloon arch. I'm getting these blocks put together, and they'll go on one side, and then the little balloon thing I have will go on the other. And I'm thinking I'm gonna hang those bows, that bow garland, behind her chair, just to give a little something there. And then here's where we are with this table. I think it looks really good. I'm pleased with it. I don't think I'm gonna make a lot of changes. I've just gotta open up the paper products and get her serving pieces. And then this is where she's going to do her drinks. So I'm gonna figure that out. I'll probably move these over to that little table where we're gonna have her book. I probably am not gonna use these. And I'm gonna leave like this for her in case they need that, but I don't really think they will. Oh, the balloons, the balloons, the balloons. So I just decided it would be easier for me to just dump them all out so I can see them. This is the little stand, and you know, it's got a base at the bottom, and then you just extend this pole. This is as tall as it'll go. And then you fill that up with water and just slide it on to weight it down. Lord knows, I hope it doesn't spring a leak or something. It almost would be better to me if they would have just like put, you know, almost like a bean bag with it that you could just put over it and you wouldn't have to do the water, but it wasn't hard. I just think that might have been a better solution for this. But so I'm gonna work on this one first, so then I can or I might do some of all. The small ones I know have got to go on the table. So I'm probably just gonna do a little bit of both. And then I think I may wait till I finish that, and then I'll do the garland. I guess I could go ahead and do the garland. I'll probably go ahead and do that behind it. And then start all these balloons, y'all, my favorite part, ha. I'm gonna try to show you how these work. And I'm only doing 3 on each table for my sanity, and I don't really think they need more than that for this small of a space. So I don't know if I can do it with the camera the way I've got it. These little pieces right here have like little slots in them, and then you just slide the balloon into the slot. So hang on and I'll show you. iPod, sorry y'all, but that's all you do. It just comes through, and that's it. Just make sure you get them secure and they won't come out. So I used most of the little brown ones that I had blown up, so I know I've got to do more of those, and that's okay. I brought my thing. This, y'all, this is gonna just work great. All this thing comes with are these little rings. And so I'm just putting balloons on the rings, and then you just slide it down the pole. Literally, that's all you do. I'm gonna do, that was just my base one, and I'm gonna do, you know, just kind of scatter small, big around and see what it looks like, and if I need to add any when I'm through. Okay, I am finished. So I was just gonna walk around and kind of let you see how everything turned out. And again, I am leaving her all of these things to serve with in case, you know, I know what food it is, but you know, sometimes when you get it here, you need a different serving piece. So I'm just using all of these for now. I left her a few more in the back in case she needs some. So I think this turned out super cute. One thing I did want to say is she asked me if I could use as much of what I had, you know, just to cut down on cost. And I did. And y'all, literally everything that is on this table, with the exception of these paper products, I already had. And if you've watched some of my other videos, I've used this stuff now for 3 different showers. So it can be done. It can be done. And, you know, it is a lot of work, but I think, you know, if you can let somebody help you and you like what they do, it's definitely worth it. Here's this little area that I set up for her to do her gifts. This is such a big room. I wanted it just to be a small area where they can, you know, she can be seen well, and also that they could take pictures here. This thing does slide out, so they could slide it out or move the chair. But I wanted her to have a little place to take pictures in this big room. So I think that turned out cute. This thing's really easy. And if you had a couple of people putting the balloons on those little rings, piece of cake. You'd be done in no time. And then there's the bow arch again and my blocks. And I already had that little chair, and I just put that little rug under there to add a little bit of color. On the tables, these little balloon bouquets, they're all done a little bit differently, and I had enough of the blue to put a little bit on every table. And then my bears, that worked out good with just a little bit of the flowers. And this was a last minute thought. I brought just enough of these bows to do this. And my sheen bows again, y'all, I love them. And that just gives it a little something on the back so that, you know, it doesn't look quite so bare. No pun intended, but, you know, bare. And then over here, you know, it's just a big room. We're gonna focus mainly up there. I did their little chalkboard. I had enough, one more blue bow that I could put here. And this is where she'll put her little book to sign in. So this is kind of the whole view. And like I said, we are just trying to stay in this part of the fellowship hall. And you know, a lot of you probably have teas in fellowship halls at church. I did that my whole life. That's where most of them always were. So, you know, you just kind of have to break it up so it's not so overwhelming in such a huge space. So I am pleased with it. I hope she will be. I'm excited to hear what they think. And now I'm heading to the church to kind of work on a little project to begin our Easter program. So that's going to be it for today, guys. I just got back from the church, set up our cross. We are going to start a sermon series. Our pastor is starting this week about the cross. So we wanted to go ahead and set it up. And then next Sunday, we will do some things for Palm Sunday, and then we're going to change it out on Easter Sunday. So I'll try to put some of those up as well. I hope you enjoyed this little video. I am tired, so I'm about to have a protein bar and a Diet Coke, and I'm going to rest. See you on the next one.